it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Good morning, 7:45. So, Rosemary Becchi is president of Jersey First. Jersey First is an advocacy group fighting lower taxes in New Jersey. So we say bravo to that. Anything that brings lower taxes, certainly to Jersey and New York. And Rosemary, you're starting this out. You're a lawyer. You went to Georgetown Law?
Yes, I did.
Oh, God bless you, girl.
Yes.
That's and from Jersey?
Yes.
And now you got your master's in law, is that what you said?
I did. I got my master's in law at Georgetown.
Well, good. Now I feel really inferior immediately. So then you got involved in this, and you've never been on the radio before, not doing this or anything?
No, this is my first time live on the radio.
This is good. Keep the fire going, girl. Hey, you can fight. We need a fighter. Lower taxes. We got to say, people, like the politicians aren't listening. So it's good that you got to get the people. How did you get started with Jersey First?
You know, I live in New Jersey, as we just talked about, and I'm a hockey mom. And I spend a lot of time at the hockey rink with my daughters. And, you know, when you talk to families at the hockey rink, they're talking about leaving New Jersey. They don't want to stay, can't stay. It's too expensive. And I really want to keep our friends and neighbors here in New Jersey. And so that's why I've started Jersey First.
This is great. And so how many kids you got now?
I've got 3 daughters.
Look at you. Their ages are, if we can ask?
16, 14, and 12.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, but it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
is.
And it's tough. You told me your kids do their own laundry?
They do.
Could you explain to me how I could get my children to do that? You just do your laundry. I said, what?
My kids help out around the house. It's very nice.
Yeah, no, I spoil them terribly. I do the laundry. I'm taking from the washing machine to the dryer, the dishwasher. Are you kidding me? So, but you don't do a mandate. I have to go to work. You do. They just know to do it.
They know to do it, and they've gotten kind of used to doing
it.
Helping out around the house.
Isn't it true though? Both parents have to work now, particularly in Jersey.
Absolutely.
One to pay the taxes, one for the family, right?
Yeah. No. The cost of living in New Jersey is just sky high, and again, people are looking to leave. They're looking to leave once the kids are done school.
Yeah. I hear that more often.
Yeah,
oh my goodness gracious.
They're looking to places like Texas and Florida and other places that don't have the taxes we have.
So how do you think? And Governor Murphy, and not personally, great guy. Everybody says the same thing. He's a very, very nice man. But his proposed tax increases, how could we possibly sustain that in Jersey?
We can't, and we have to stop. You know, one of the things that I'm most concerned about is this so-called millionaire's tax, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a tax on small businesses, because small businesses, their income from their business shows up on their personal return.
Yeah.
And so I have a good friend and neighbor who's a small business owner, and he says that, you know, he's got 2 choices: either increase his revenue or cut expenses. And, you know, there's only so many hours in a day that you can work, and it's hard to increase revenue. And so what he's probably looking at is cutting his employees and cutting hours.
And we talked about this earlier when you were on the show last week. Legalized gambling, marijuana, does this help at all?
I don't think it helps us. It doesn't solve our problems. I mean, if you taxing, you know, gambling, drinking, and betting, it doesn't help the situation. It only raises a nominal amount of revenue.
Yeah. So, and why don't they create jobs? People, you know, Mercedes-Benz left this year, right?
Yep.
Gerber left this year. Thank God you got. I guess Campbell's holding on down your old neck of the woods down there, South Jersey, and Johnson & Johnson for sure. You got these mega companies that do stay there, ExxonMobil for sure. But my gosh, people are going to be leaving in droves. What do you tell the progressive socialists, what I call them, in New York and in New Jersey, when all they know to do is the tolls? Look at the tolls that we pay. And they jack up the tolls, and they were supposed to be temporary, and they're not. That's how they're maintaining, and all that does, and stop me if I'm wrong, it maintains the bureaucracy to run the Port Authority, the bureaucracy to run the Garden State Parkway or the Turnpike. I mean, how do you convince these politicians to create jobs, create revenue?
Yeah, you got to create an environment where people want to come here and do business. And you can't overburden them with regulations, and you can't overtax them, and you can't overtax their employees. Who's going to want to come here and buy a house when they've got exorbitant property
But
taxes.
what you know what? And you're a good Jersey girl, and I'm a Jersey guy. So what do you say to the folks again on a personal level, on these politicians aside, because they're all virtually nice people? Most of the people wanted Governor Murphy in. They didn't care. They just voted Democratic. They know. They know. So, and people tell me, Joe, you got high taxes. Hey, you voted for him. That's that attitude. How do we change our fellow citizens' mindset to not vote that way, so we can indeed have at least like a Prop 13, to cap the property tax? How do you convince people to do that? Because they vote blindly.
I think you really have to talk to them about, we need some balance here in New Jersey. We need to bring down our taxes, and we need to reduce our spending and get it under control. You and I live by a budget in our households, right? And we want to do a lot of different things, but we can't.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of the situation. Money isn't endless.
I know.
You can't keep spending.
And Rosemary, thank you. Rosemary Becchi, president of Jersey First, fighting for lower taxes in New Jersey. We're trying. We are trying. And hopefully that'll go to New York, too. You're a busy girl. Thanks so much for at least sticking up for the citizens that really are working so hard to keep our money. Appreciate what you're doing, Mom, and then doing everything. And you did good. So you come back anytime, Rosemary. Thank you.
And thanks for having me.
All right,
and folks can find us on the internet at jerseyverse.org, or we also on Facebook and Twitter.
Great. Sounds great. There it is. Jersey First.
Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.